What's up, guys? My name is Joseph, and today we are going to be reviewing Ryan Coogler's new movie, Sinners. Real quick, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It goes such a long way in helping the channel. Sinners is Ryan Coogler's new film. It is a 1930s period piece following twin brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan, who are coming back from Chicago, where they kind of operate within the underbelly, but ultimately they are good people who just want to take care of their community. And it follows their story when they come back home and try to establish a juke joint. But evil tries to stop them from doing that. Big evil. Like Big Farm. Like, this is big evil. This isn't, I don't know what I'm getting at here. I'm being kind of cryptic on purpose because even though the trailers reveal the big reveal, if somehow this is the first time you are seeing anything about Sinners, I think it'd be really cool if you went into the movie not knowing what it was about, because seeing this kind of story where you would think this kind of story is going and then getting to experience that twist for the first time as you were watching the film, I can only imagine how cool of an experience that would be. I guess I normally just like to use these non-spoiler sections to advise people on whether or not they should go see a movie, and I will say right off the bat that this is my favorite movie of the year so far, and it takes that pretty easily, I would say. This is a movie that throws a lot at the wall. It's a genre blend. There are a ton of moving pieces. There's a ton of technical craft to it. It has a lot of background messaging, like a lot of things that I think it's definitely saying, but they're not super in your face, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's like the main focus of the movie, but you have all of these things going on: racial commentary, religious commentary, folklore, grief, a whole bunch of things, but it's all packaged into a super fun action film, basically. It is honestly like no other movie I have seen before, which is a pretty exciting and bold claim, but I honestly think that's true. I would say a movie that I can pretty easily compare it to, a movie that I felt kind of similar about, is actually Babylon, Damien Chazelle's most recent movie from 2022. These movies obviously don't share a whole lot in terms of like the content, the stories, and also the messaging of what they're really about. But what I mean by that in terms of me comparing those two films is Babylon was a movie that when it came out, I saw it twice in theaters because it is so dense. And again, it's just a movie that's throwing so much at you, and all of these changing dynamics, new character information, new character goals. It's building out this crazy world. And through that, there does tend to be a sort of looseness, and some stuff kind of gets lost. And yet it still ends up being an insanely enjoyable, lovable, satisfying film because it's throwing so much at you that so much of it just inevitably works. So for every one or two things that you're like, wait, what was happening? Like, what was the backstory on that? Why is this character doing this? There are 10 or 20 things where you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe they just did that. They were both genuinely reaffirming experiences for being so into new movies and new releases specifically, and always trying to catch everything. Like it felt rewarding and again reaffirming to be like, no, like this is why we come to the theater. This is why we're here. This is why we put faith in directors, and why we champion directors, getting freedom and getting to tell their own visions and their own stories. It is for movies like this, like Sinners and like Babylon, where no, they're not perfect, but you can just see what these directors want to do and the kind of stories they want to tell and how much talent and how much passion they have. And I would say this movie is also definitely not on the same level of Babylon in terms of like just how much it is throwing at you and how crazy it can get. Like this is tighter and more cohesive, and it takes place over basically 24 hours actually, so it's a pretty contained story, but just in the sense of it kind of like meshing so many different things together. It's just so cool to be able to go to a theater and see an originally written and directed movie by someone who specifically wanted to tell that story, and to see this labor of love amount to something that is so just like enjoyable. Ryan Coogler, he absolutely like flexed with this one. There is so much in this. It is sexy, it is romantic, It is exciting and like blood pumping. Again, there's commentary going on here. It's a period piece and it looks fantastic. I follow a lot of very nerdy YouTubers, and there's some genuine conversation about people kind of wondering, could this be like a major Oscar contender? I don't know if I would say that yet. Obviously, there's still 8 months or so left in the year, and there's tons of movies left to come out. But again, like this far in the year, it is pretty handily my favorite movie. But it's also not just the fact that it's like my favorite, but it's also so clearly like head and shoulders above, like the ambition that other movies had. Like this wasn't like, I don't know, like the other movies that I have near the top of my list right now are really good. They're really good. This one is just like, nah, this was like gunning for something, and it went and it didn't stop, and it kept going, and it was like, all right, you thought we were done here? Take this. You thought we were done here? Take this. You thought we were done here? Nah, I'm also going to throw some of this in. I think you kind of get the point, though. Absolutely check this one out. It is 100% worth your time. I have to imagine most people are going to be seeing trailers for this, seeing reviews for this. It is getting rave reviews. It has fantastic trailers. But yeah, absolutely go see this. Easy recommendation. Don't wait.